O'Leary, and I'm sitting in front of Rusty Wessel's fish house and one of his many koi ponds. And today I'm going to take you around and show you some of the fish he's working with. Let's take a look. Rusty has 3 ponds. This is a small one and is mainly the offspring of the koi that's in his 45 to 50,000 gallon concrete koi pond that I'll show you in a second. He has a secondary pond as well that is massive, but it's not set up like these, and it houses a bunch of koi, some gambusia, and a bunch of red-eared sliders. But these guys are fantastic. Absolutely gorgeous. This is the entertainment area, and that wall surrounds a somewhere between 40 and 50,000 gallon koi pond. And he houses the fish there all winter. He keeps them there all year round and utilizes a wood-burning stove with coils to heat the pond in the winter. This is the wood-burning stove. It burns for about 24 hours, so once a day he feeds it, and that maintains the temperature on this beauty, which houses a ton of koi of excellent quality, as well as 3 paddlefish. And it's 9 feet deep at its deepest. It's really quite incredible. Some of these guys are absolutely massive, and they'll hand feed. It's absolutely fun. My daughters have been swimming in this the past few days. This is Rusty's fish house, and it is just that, a stick-built house dedicated entirely to his Central American cichlids. In addition to Rusty's 40,000 gallon koi pond, which adjoins this building houses about 8,000 gallons of tank space. He has 265 gallon tanks down to 10 gallon, which are used for grow out, which is divided into 2 main rooms. It's lit with fluorescents overnight as well as tube lights, which are cut into the ceiling to provide natural daylight. With Central Americans, a break in temperature is really important for their breeding cycle, and recently Rusty's air conditioner died while he was away on one of his many collecting trips. So when he got home and got it repaired, everything went into major breeding drive. So as we look around, you'll see lots and lots of different fry in the various tanks. It's pretty impressive to see these full-sized fish with clouds of 400 fry. And I have to tell you, I really don't even know what half of these fish are, but they're obviously big, they're obviously mature, they're in excellent health, and just seeing the parenting behavior is one of the reasons I really enjoy cichlids the way I do. Now, I don't keep many of these big guys, but seeing the color changes that they go through in spawning dress, as well as how they raise their fry and interact with each other, is really fascinating. And I encourage you, if you ever have the opportunity to see a fish room like this, to really check it out. You can see how that little female on the left is defending her fry against that entire tank of tank busters, which are being cornered over into one half. This is a 265 gallon tank. The color, the vitality, and the beauty of these fish is undeniable. Now, I'm sure you've noticed that all of these tanks are stocked really densely. And that's because big cichlids have big attitudes, and by overcrowding, it helps to prevent them picking on each other and establish a good pecking order within the tank. Now, Rusty utilizes a ton of different decor in these tanks. You can see there's plastic plants, there's driftwood, there's tubes, there's terracotta pots. He even has live plants in some, and he utilizes all these different strategies to provide the most natural breeding area for these fish, as well as to give them spaces to escape each other. As I walked around the fish room, again, I was just blown away by how almost every tank was full of fish that would win at a fish show. Now, I'm more drawn to the smaller guys, so you'll see some of that, even though the vast majority of his fish are pretty large. And I seem to like the gray and brown fish. But as you can see, everything's really active. Now, what's interesting as well is that Rusty collects most of his fish. You know, he's gone on over 150 collecting trips over the years, all over Central America. He even has a fish named after him. It was named after him in June of 1996 and is called Theraps wesseli, which I think is pretty awesome. Another thing that Rusty is really known for is his work with the American Cichlid Association, where he heads up gaining funds for the Guy Jordan Endowment Fund. Now, it's really important with all of these guys that conservation and preservation of the species goes on, and I think that's really evident in Rusty's fish room in the way that he is actively breeding, raising, and sharing these species within the hobby. You can see how big they are. This is Abigail with her hand in front of one of them. I mean, these guys are just really, really incredible. I feel so lucky that I get to travel all over the world, really, and get to see the best of the fish there are out there. I mean, these may not be my cup of tea personally, but there's no denying their absolute beauty and really the mastery that is this fish room. Rusty had it custom designed, and his attention to detail really has paid off. Now, I didn't show you guys any of the filtration or anything like that with this. It was just simply too difficult to get my camera in there. But I wanted to make sure I was able to share with you just the vast range of species that are in this fish room. I mean, he probably has the biggest collection of Central American cichlids of anyone I've ever seen. I could probably spend weeks in this fish room alone, just learning and taking video and enjoying these fish. And Rusty frequently hosts aquarium clubs at his home, as you can tell from all the furniture around for people to sit and enjoy. I had a really great time visiting Kentucky. The club was very, very welcoming, and really, Rusty and his wife Susie were exceptional hosts. I don't often take my entire family with me, but I did on this trip, and it was totally worth it. He has a kitchen and the refrigerator and also a full bathroom in his fish house as well, which is handy when hosting large parties. He also has a really impressive collection of cactus, as you can see on top of the fish tanks there. The landscaping around his ponds and the attention to detail that was given was really, really incredible. You can see all those fish crammed over to one side because of the one spawning pair, and there's another pair looking to try and set up. That's some aggression. But despite all these big tank-banging cichlids, you know, I saw very little damage on any of them. She probably has fry. Yep, there they are. Some holy rock, some other strategies for giving them hides. Rusty's even known for keeping native swordtails or other live bears in with his big cichlids, which I think is pretty interesting. You can see a swordtail there. But again, I just walked around and was just in awe. Look at the color on these big fish. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful. I think it's interesting to note as well that Rusty will often add nearite snails in with these big guys in order for algae control. Now, they will eat some of it, but the vast majority of them end up surviving and doing pretty well. I kept coming back to these fish. I was just really, really in love with them. It was a bit of a challenge to shoot in this fish house because of all the natural light. So I do apologize for all the glare that is found throughout this video. But it was just too big of an opportunity, and the fish were too beautiful. I mean, look at the spangling on those for me not to share it with you. Even my kids and my husband, who are not into fish at all, really enjoyed spending time in this fish room. And I think that's something that's really nice about these big cichlids, is that they have so much personality, and they're often so fearless that they make really, really great breeding projects that are fun to watch because of their struggles for dominance, their parenting behavior, and just their overall beauty. I mean, look at some of the colors on these guys. It's hard to describe, and I'm not sure that in this video you guys are even getting a grasp of how vast this fish house was and just how big these tanks are. I mean, it was incredible. So Rusty's koi pond, if you went out that door, is to your left. And all in all, I just think that this was a really great trip. And I know that he often hosts open houses for the ACAs when they're in the area. So if you ever attend one and they are having one of these, make sure you go. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and stop by my Facebook as well as my website, MsJinx.com, where you can find my upcoming speaking engagements, my current stock list, and information on all things nano. As always, if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, let me know below. I think up next I am at the Catfish Convention in Herndon, Virginia in October. More information about that can be found on my website. It is an exceptional convention, and I hope to see some of you there.